Hey guys, what is going on? This is Wrestlelamia, back with another episode. Join us now as Wrestlelamia looks at the Blue brand, as well as the wildest wrestling news stories you need to know, including, is The Rock appearing at the Royal Rumble? FTR Blast Bischoff, medical updates on Cora, Jade, Austin Theory, Carmelo Hayes, and Samoan Alpha, big Bray Wyatt news, and more. As always, we won't recap the matches, but look at the good, the bad, and the downright ugly. The good. Who is the third man? Paul Heyman's pathetic pleas with various superstars to join Jimmy Uso and Solo Sikoa in the main event was hilarious. Heyman excels as a manipulative manager, but he also works well in comedic moments, such as when he offered Carlito an apple, or the other segments when he shamelessly begged superstars to help him. The Final Testament. Tonight's video, where Karrion Kross introduced his new faction, The Final Testament, was the quality piece fans expect from the WWE, and it wouldn't surprise Wrestlelamia if Kross was involved, as he's known for his filmmaking. The only question is where things go from here. As Wrestlelamia discussed at our website, fans want to know whether The Final Testament is a faction of jobbers with a fresh coat of paint, or one set for a push. Bianca versus Bayley. Did the WWE Universe need another Bayley versus Bianca Belair match? Not really, but at least fans know both superstars will deliver in the ring. These two have been battling since Damage Control's debut at 2022's SummerSlam, yet both women find new ways to add a new spin to their matches. This isn't a conversation between equals. It was fantastic to see Smackdown general manager Nick Aldis disabuse Paul Heyman of the notion that this is a conversation between equals, yet another example of Aldis showing steely determination running the Blue brand. As Wrestlelamia has discussed over the last few weeks, it's refreshing to see someone running a show who isn't afraid to exercise their authority. Things could get interesting if the Bloodline, or anyone else on SmackDown, decides to take a shot at Aldis. Wrestlelamia doesn't want to see Aldis shifting into a wrestling role because he's so good as a general manager. Still, we're intrigued at how Aldis will react to someone trying to lay their hands on him. Is Pete Dunne coming back? Is Pete Dunne ditching his Butch gimmick and returning to his roots? Well, tonight's conversation between Butch and Tyler Bate didn't resolve the question, it hinted at it. Butch also gave fans hope when he noted the Brawling Brutes are history, something which is long overdue, as the trio served no purpose other than to weigh Sheamus down. Babyfaces destroy Bloodline. Tonight's main event was a good payoff for fans waiting for babyfaces Randy Orton and LA Knight to get revenge on the Bloodline for their past attacks. While we don't know if AJ Styles is a babyface, a tweener, or a heel, the Phenomenal One also capitalized on the 3-on-2 advantage against the Bloodline, beating Jimmy Uso down and powerbombing Solo through a table. The bad. The usual glacial pace for storytelling. Triple H has many strong storytelling qualities, but moving a storyline ahead at an engaging pace isn't one of them. There are many examples of the game's sloth-like storytelling, but Bayley getting booted out of Damage Control has reached ludicrous lows as fans have waited months for WWE to drop the hammer. The storyline is getting boring, and Bayley looks like a complete clown for failing to see her days are numbered. Unless Bayley shows up with a new crew and reveals she saw things coming, this will have a weak payoff, not because the premise is weak, but because the execution is woefully slow. Cheater, pumpkin eater. Logan Paul continues to tread new ground as a celebrity turned WWE superstar. Regrettably, Paul's promo tonight was hideously bad, so much so that he found a way to top Roman Reigns' legendarily lame Suffer and Succotash promo with his own. Paul, who usually excels on the microphone, called Owens a cheater, pumpkin eater, a statement which still has Wrestlelamia dazed by its sheer awfulness. Not much of a show with the Royal Rumble 2 weeks away. Did WWE phone it in tonight? Not quite, but it was obvious the WWE feels it didn't need to do anything to promote the Royal Rumble, which is likely true as it's an event show fans will just watch just to see the two Rumble matches. Still, the WWE could have put on a better show. The downright ugly. Nothing ugly. This was a surprisingly average show, considering the Rumble is 2 weeks away, but the show kept its head above water despite some bad spots. Is The Rock showing up at the Royal Rumble? Topping today's news is a report from Dave Meltzer that The Rock could show up at the Royal Rumble. Diamond Dave is reporting in the latest Wrestling Observer newsletter that the most electrifying man in sports entertainment could show up at the 27th January show and punch his ticket to WrestleMania 40. Punk and Rhodes are the obvious favorites to win, with Gunther, Knight, and Rock following. The idea of Rock as a surprise Rumble entrant coming in late and winning was discussed for past years when there was an idea of him headlining Mania. So while nobody has advertised it, and it probably wouldn't happen, I wouldn't reject it as a possibility. Obviously, this is completely up to Dwayne Johnson. The usual protocol is that one world title challenger would win the Rumble and the other at Elimination Chamber. Interestingly, this isn't the first time fans have heard this rumor. In 2023, fans watching the Royal Rumble waited patiently as the various competitors entered the Men's Royal Rumble, waiting to see if WWE would set up the much-rumored Rock vs. Roman match for WrestleMania 39. Although The Rock told fans his schedule didn't allow him to train properly for a WrestleMania match, that didn't stop fans from hoping. Now it's looking more likely that The Rock will throw down with Roman. To his credit, the People's Champion has been upfront with his fans when it comes to wrestling Roman, never leading them on. As mentioned, he told fans in 2023 the match wasn't happening, but given the WWE's habit of hiding its plans with disinformation, not everyone bought The Rock's comments. This year, some fans are more inclined to believe it could happen, as The Rock's comments at day one strongly suggest a match with Roman is coming. Austin Theory and Carmelo Hayes update. Time for an update on Austin Theory and Carmelo Hayes, who both took a bad bump during their Smackdown match, leading to the referee throwing the dreaded X sign up to stop the match. Now WWE is updating fans via X. Update. Following their match tonight on Smackdown, Austin Theory and Carmelo Hayes were evaluated for injuries. They both suffered face contusions and will both be okay. Great news for both wrestlers who continue to crush it on SmackDown. Cora Jade injured? Bad news for Cora Jade and her fans, as the NXT superstar appears to have been injured at a live event. Ex-user Pro Wrestling Nerd tweeted a picture of officials checking on Jade after the match. Breaking news, Cora Jade looks to have a bad knee injury at the NXT show in Dade City, Florida. There was a fake knee injury spot early in the match, but the end saw Jade land funny and a pin by Lyra that looked botched. 4 people carried Jade to the back. Wrestlelamia will continue following this story. Legendary wrestler hospitalized. In other news, wrestling legend Afa Anoa'i is at hospital being treated for pneumonia and 2 heart attacks. A post at Afa's Facebook page provided fans with some background. Update on Afa the Wild Samoan, affectionately known as Pops. Afa was admitted to the hospital last night with pneumonia, but had a mild heart attack upon arrival. Today, he had a second small heart attack and was sent for a heart catheterization. He's doing okay, his spirits are high, he isn't out of the woods yet, but he will be kept in the hospital for a day or 2 for observation and monitoring. He thanks everyone for their concern, continued love, and prayers. Afa and his brother Sika are well known for their run in the WWF as the Wild Samoans, and many of their relatives in the Anoa'i family who have gone on to become professional wrestlers. Wrestlelamia sends its thoughts and prayers to Afa Anoa'i for a fast and full recovery. Big Bray Wyatt news. Some big Bray Wyatt news stories surface, a reminder of how much Bray Wyatt's legacy continues to grow. Let's look at a confirmed story and a rumor concerning the late great WWE superstar. A new report from PW Insider states the WWE has begun work on a project covering Bray Wyatt. Details are few, but the report states that Bray's brother Bo Dallas is being interviewed. The report states the WWE was also in Pittsburgh. Wrestling News' Andrew Ravens noted, Jason Baker of Callosum Studio, which is located in Pittsburgh, was the creator of Wyatt's Fiend mask. So far, it's unknown what WWE intends to do with the footage. So far, speculation ranges from it being used for a YouTube project, a documentary on Peacock, or A&E. A new rumor concerns Bray Wyatt possibly entering the WWE Hall of Fame's 2024 class. Sean Ross Sapp of Fightful Select recently noted he asked about the possibility. Here's what he told fans on his Backstage Report podcast. I asked someone really close to him and they said that they haven't been told that as of yet, but they would love it. What do you think of these stories about Bray Wyatt? Do you think the WWE should induct him into the 2024 Hall of Fame class? FTR Blast Bischoff. It looks like FTR, Dax Harwood, and Cash Wheeler are joining in on the online beef between AEW President Tony Khan and former wrestling executive and wrestling personality Eric Bischoff. FTR recently appeared on Jeff Snyder's YouTube channel and roasted Bischoff. Here are some highlights from Dax's diatribe on Bischoff. I don't think Tony Khan gets the credit that he deserves because he afforded a lot of people a lot of jobs and a lot of income. I mean, if you look outside of AEW, you've got all these old-time miserable podcasters like Eric Bischoff and some of the others who make a living just by going on their podcasts and burying Tony and AEW when they know that AEW is a place where business is thriving. Harwood praised Tony Khan for the opportunities AEW has afforded to many people, where AEW is a place that is helping change professional wrestling for the positive. So not only did Tony give us and hundreds of other people living, he's afforded a living to some people who otherwise would be sitting miserable, bankrupt in their house. AEW has provided wrestling fans with an alternative to the WWE. While the company isn't always successful at utilizing all its talent, it's also provided wrestlers a place to go to give their careers a second chance. It's also given younger wrestlers an alternative for finding work on a national stage besides WWE. Dax's tag partner, Cash Wheeler, also weighed in on Bischoff's apparent anger. I think he's really mad that Tony wouldn't give him a job the few times he was there to collect the paycheck. Here comes bankruptcy number 4. What do you think of FTR going off on Eric Bischoff? Is AEW interested in Shelton Benjamin? Fans have heard buzz about several free agents possibly becoming all elite, including Dolph Ziggler and Sasha Banks. However, what about veteran grappler Shelton Benjamin? Sean Ross Sapp recently discussed this on his podcast. Last I heard a couple of weeks ago, AEW had not reached out to him. There were some people that pushed for him, but they have not reached out to him that I've heard of. While Shelton is 48, AEW alumnus Dustin Rhodes is 54 and remains a go-to competitor for AEW. Both men bring a lot to the table, and Benjamin is a utility player who could likely help guide younger talent behind the scenes. Would you like to see the gold standard at AEW? Buzz about Becky's book. Last but not least, it looks like WWE superstar Becky Lynch's upcoming memoir, Becky Lynch, The Man, Not Your Average Girl, is getting good backstage buzz in the WWE. PW Insider reports plenty of praise for how good the book is. The 384-page book is scheduled for a 26th March release. Well guys, there you have it, Wrestlalamia's look at the 12th January edition of Smackdown, as well as the wildest news stories and rumors you need to know in wrestling. Be sure to leave your comments, and don't forget to subscribe to our channel, follow us on Instagram and Twitter, and I'll see you next time for some more wrestling content.